Hello everybody, Dirty Jersey here. Got something really exciting. BrakeAway Products, Motorcycle Cruise Control. This is 7C P06. This fits most Harley-Davidson motorcycles, 1996 and newer. So I'm hoping it should fit my 96 bad boy. We're gonna get right into installing this and hopefully testing it as long as everything goes well. For those of you who've been watching the channel for a little bit, you've probably heard me talk about this, which is a cruise mate. We'll talk about later why that didn't work out, but I'm hoping we can get this thing on, and I'm gonna try and keep it, you know, easy peasy. All right, so here's my 96 bad boy. I should be able to do this by taking this screw out and the screw over here out just to get into the throttle cables. So I'll time lapse this, but basically I'm just gonna loosen the throttle cables up, take those screws out, take the grip off, and we'll see where we're at from there. Okay, so opening up the throttle housing, that will show us our throttle cables. Then I think I'm gonna just take the throttle off, and we'll take it from there. All right, guys, I just wanted to film this real quick. Grip is off, throttle cables are out. These little ball end, nothing focuses with the GoPro, it sucks ass. These little pieces right here are what hold your ball end throttle cables into your grip. Very important you don't lose these when you take them off. So here's the kit. You have the system itself, which if you don't understand how this works, it's going to be easier for me to explain it when it's on the bike. Right here is just a little bar. This is what keeps the whole system from turning when it's unlocked, if that makes sense. It'll all make sense once I have it on the bike. I'm guessing two sizes for different brakes, which will make more sense. And I'm guessing this is a grip ring, maybe a different one or the only one, not sure, for the throttle itself. This is actually honestly looking pretty easy. I think I have it figured out without even touching anything or looking at any directions, because I know the grip has to go through here first. And that is a big thing on a lot of these YouTube videos I've seen before. They always skip this step with this specific throttle lock. They always skip how they get the grip into here. So I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to actually show you, because this is what's going to replace your throttle cables inside the housing, and the grip goes in here. Okay guys, so this is getting a little interesting now. This O-ring has got to go right through here on the throttle, and they want it pushed all the way against the outside, just like this. I'm guessing that's okay. Let me make sure that's correct. Okay, yeah, so it's looking like that's how they want it. The O-ring right around there. It's going to help us in a little bit. Now we got to take this part off, and all that's going to be is a screw here and another screw at the bottom. So we got to unlock this thing, turn it up, and I'll just lock it there to keep it in place, and now we can get to both those screws. Okay, so when you're done, unlocked, and let's turn it to make it upright. It should look like this. These two halves come off. The two little screws that go in each end, you do not want to lose. You don't want to lose them. I know where mine are. But these two come off, and you're going to slip your grip right in there. So when doing this, it's going to seem like it doesn't want to fit. And maybe mine doesn't, but we're going to find out. But yeah, you got to just get it in there, and I will be back to you with the next step once I know how firmly you need to press into it. Also, just checking this out, the way this goes on, this O-ring is going to sit in there. Oh my God, I can't see shit. But it's going to sit in there like that. So the O-ring definitely needs to be this way. Okay, so in order to get mine to fit in those holes, I had to sand down the corners of this middle bit just a little bit. But should be fitting good now. Okay, as with everything, had to sand down the top. Nothing is always flush, and these are aftermarket grips anyway, so these were a little too tall for the housing, so had to sand them down a little bit, but that won't really be seen anyway, so I don't care. Yeah, okay, so it still doesn't fit, but I will tell you guys what, I'm balls deep in this now, so I am not stopping. This bitch is going to fit in there. So if you don't have OEM grips, yeah, you're probably either get new grips or you're gonna have to do some mods to get these things on there. I found this absolute godsend of a tool, and yeah, get ready for this. I mean, it works, it fits, and you won't see it, and technically you could reuse it if you need to. I mean, it's not that bad actually. It looks worse than it is, but now it fits, so we can continue. And I will say, Jay said to me the other day, after I told him about the Cruise Mate ordeal, he said, well, you got to break some to make some, and I would add, along the way, you're going to fake some, because that is looking like I faked the shit out of it. Okay, so where was I? You take your O-ring and you slip it over your factory OEM sized grip, and you want to keep it all the way out. I believe I showed earlier why. And you also want to make sure any loose metal shards in your grip are not going to slice or cut or break the O-ring, because then you'll be really SOL. Now you take your BrakeAway and you're going to put your factory OEM grip, completely unmodified, into it, because it's going to go in really nice and snug and completely perfect, and you're not going to have any issues at all, and it's going to be awesome, and you're going to get really excited to use your new cruise control. Okay, this is going to be really hard to see on this freaking GoPro, but that O-ring in there, you can see it right there. Well, as I flip this around, let me do this so you can see better. As I turn the throttle, see how it's sitting in a groove on this end, and then it comes out? The directions tell you, take an Allen wrench and push it into said groove. You can kind of see it. Point the Allen wrench up at it. I'll just use your eyes, people. No O-ring, O-ring. I gotta push it into that groove. Next, we're gonna take our back ring, which says it has no screw holes. They call it the back ring. And you wanna slide it onto the groove. You'll feel the O-ring recess even more. Then you're gonna unlock your system, slide this back, lock it, and you're gonna put the other side on and tighten her down. The final product should look like this. Now we're gonna put the brake clip linkage part on, and you'll see how that goes. Okay, so it's kind of hard to screw this part up. You see that little divot? The screw goes right in there, so it can't move. That is going to connect to your brake so that when you're going down the road and you lock it, it stays in place, just like so. All right, guys, back over at the bike. What we got to do is remove this C-clip up here and pop that bad bolt out and put the new one in. It comes with two sizes. I'm not going to go through each size. You can pick which one works for you. All right, this next part's pretty self-explanatory. Slide her back on, hook the throttle cables up, and then I'll come back when we hook this up to that. All right, so see you then. All right, guys, new issue. So this is completely free. This has nothing to do with what I'm about to show you. We got grip problems, real bad, really bad. There are different spots down, but it seems to be right about there. You don't want to grip right where it's supposed to be, but I feel like it should be spinning pretty freely on there. I don't know if it's from me drilling out or if I took these bands off because I clamped them all the way down thinking that they're supposed to, but I think this rubber in here has something to do with it gripping. So I don't know, might have to take this stuff apart again. We'll see. Let's check it out. All right, guys, it's a few days later. She's all back together. Now when I slide it on, everything's all smooth and nice. The issue I was having, if I can move this, the issue I was having was basically with the modifications I made to the throttle hand. When it was in there, it wasn't sitting flush. It was sitting down like that a little bit because the top wasn't shaved down enough. So I had to do some more shaving, and I really mutilated the hell out of it. Seems like everything's good and smooth now. When it's on the bar, I'm gonna put some white lithium grease a little bit inside and put some on the handlebar itself to lube it up. And then we're gonna finish putting this on and hopefully take it for a test run. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna put this C-clip back up here on the new brake pin. This sucks if you don't have the right tool for it. The whole assembly's back together. All I got to do now is connect this piece up over here, which that's going to be annoying because the bolt here is not there's not a lot for the bolt that goes on there. But this is what you want to see. I don't know if you can even see that. You know, she's right back. Pops right back. So that's what you want to see. These are all tight now, my throttle cables, so we just gotta get this thing actually mounted and then hopefully take it out on the road. The way they write the directions is a little confusing, but here's what I think they want you to do. You loosen everything so that this whole arm can spin freely, right? And then you want to line it up. I believe they want it all the way down, although I'm not 100% sure because mine's gonna need to be up, but I can't. And then they want you to, they're gonna want you to, and then, I don't know. I got this tightened down, this tightened down. I'm a little confused because every time I tighten this screw and the screw under here, the throttle wants to lock up. And it's fine now because they're loose, but see how the whole system rides in there? When you tighten it, it wants to pull it one way or the other. And the directions literally just say, oh, tighten these two and call it a day. So I'm figuring that out right now. All right, everybody, so I just tried to start the bike and the battery's dead, so I gotta trickle charge it. I don't know. It snaps back right now. It pretty much works. That doesn't, I don't love that. The catalyst is just fucking screwed though. I gotta literally keep this thing pretty much loose in order for it to move. The minute I tighten this up at all, the whole throttle locks up. And this whole process has pissed me off so much. Before buying this thing, and after stripping out the hole for the other, I thought about just getting the Atlas throttle lock because it's easy. I know it would fit. It just clamps on. You're done in 5 minutes. And it's pretty much self-explanatory how it works. I like it a lot better than this at this point. I don't know. I gotta get a video out. And if I get rid of this thing at this point, I have to buy new grips. So, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do here. Alright guys, got the throttle lock installed. I'm not a huge fan of it right now, but we'll see how it works. I went to try to test it out earlier. My bike, the battery was dead, which was mad annoying. But the throttle seems okay right now. I think the vibrations of the bike are actually helping it. That screw on the front, come on, come on. That screw on the front is still loose because that's the only way I could get it to work without binding up my throttle. So we'll try it, but I have yet to try it yet. I want to get on a road where I can go a little bit faster. It seemed, in theory, this thing is working, but we'll see. We'll see in a little bit. Actually, click. The vibrations are not helping it. Might have to bring it up a little bit more or something. I mean, in theory it's working, but I don't know. The Atlas throttle lock is looking real nice right now. I'm so discombobulated about this thing because I really thought, okay, I'm gonna get this proper system, and I fell for it. Oh, the proper system with a nice name, it's gonna go, you know, I'm gonna put it on and everything's gonna be great. But we'll make some adjustments when we hit the wah. But let's see, this guy's making a right. After this, I should be able to turn it on and see. Shall we try it? It's on. No, it's slowing down still. I gotta tighten it up a little bit. All right, so that turned it off. The brake turned it off. If I click it in, I pull it back a little bit. She stays going for a second, but it's not that great. The vibrations, I think, are what's killing it. I don't even know if you can see it. Ready, watch. Turn it on. She's good for a second, but then she starts slowing down. Just take it off. We'll get to the Wawa. I brought the tools with us. We'll get to the Wawa. We'll fill up, and we'll make some adjustments real fast. I'll tighten it up a little bit, see if that's what I really want to do, and, you know. I'm going to scrape my pipes here, but there's no helping it. Oh, not too bad though. Alright, so turn signal is now a whole hell of a lot farther, which is to be expected. But the throttle, I tightened it up to where there was a little bit of grip. But I did two things. I tightened up that screw on the front that I left loose because it came even more loose. And then I tightened up the actual grip thing. So let's try that. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's working now. It's working. It's doing its job. If I turn it off, all right, she comes back. And if I click it in again, doing her job, hit the brake, she stops. All right, okay. All right, it's getting there. If I click it in, it doesn't feel like it's engaging all the way, which scares me. I'm trying to feel for that. I mean, it's working now, though. Oh, the wind's got me. Look at this. No hands, people. This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. I can give her some more while it's locked up. I like it. This is fucking wild with no hands, I gotta say. No hand on the grip. I'm probably abusing the shit out of this thing right now, but I'm testing it. Because all this truly is for, in an emergency, grab the brake and you're good to go. And all this truly is for, click it in. It doesn't feel like it clicks in. That's the only thing I don't like. But it seems like it's engaging all the way. But it's really just to give your throttle hand a break when you're on the road. You know, to drop it, let your feeling come back, come up, undo it, and you're good to go. It definitely disengages. You can feel disengaged. But when I push it in, it doesn't feel like it clicks in, but it must, because obviously it's keeping it there. And then if you hit this, she dies on you. And the vibrations allow the throttle to return, so I'm going to let that slide for now. The real question, damn, this is kind of, I might run this for a little bit. And if it takes a shit later on or something, you know, we'll see. I'm going to keep the tools on the bike for it. But this is pretty fucking cool. If it wasn't so windy, you could go no hands the whole fucking time, which I like a lot. So got full throttle range, which you love to see. And then I can just click it on, and you're outie. Do you like that emergency? Hit the brake, she's done. Alright, so the vibrations are going to definitely help keep that thing loose. I think I definitely would go with an Atlas throttle lock next. Oh yeah, it's clicking, you just can't hear it or feel it with all the vibrations. Definitely clicked in a bit. Does it feel like that screw is coming loose? That's the real question. Yeah, it definitely did. I love motorcycles, everybody. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know I like motorcycles? Click it in, and you're good. I'm going down Shore Road right now, not even touching the throttle. You can do a little bit of adjustment. Yeah, you can adjust it while it's on. That front screw, if I can get that to stay locked down, I'm going to run this thing for a little bit. Because you know what? This is why I like doing in-depth reviews. People don't ever do it. They just install a thing called A. I thought that the throttle was binding up where it really just needed to be test ridden. All right, because you can't always tell. Now, yeah, it should be completely free if it's not hooked. But obviously, when I let go, it's cutting power. So maybe it's not bouncing all the way forward, where there's slack in the cable, which is not a bad thing because it's not going to make a difference truly. It could be something on my end too. I need new throttle cables or something. And this guy is going to windshield wiper wash me the whole fucking time. Great. That's so nice of you, bud. Let's park for a second and we'll check out that front bolt. I got a feeling it's tight. But I might just tighten it all the way and then see how it feels after that. I don't know. While it's running. Oh. Actually, that screw did not come loose. I don't know if you guys can see that. Now, it came loose a little bit. And when I throttle lock it, it is clicking all the way. That brake hits it and you're good. Let me see. It just feels awkward hitting it with one hand, but it locks. It definitely is locking and shit. It's, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ride it for a little bit more, and I'm gonna, wherever that bolt lines up, that's where I'm gonna tighten it up. I'm gonna let it naturally find its good spot, and that's where I'm gonna let it tighten up. Because she's idling pretty normal right now. Like if I push this forward, it's just slack, so that's her normal idle. Oh. So let's do this. Let's keep going. We'll lock it down a couple more times. We'll do our fun stuff. Uphill, I will click her in. She seems to be staying. And then we take her off and we're going downhill. It's not a bad system. I'm going to do a long-term review of it, but it truly is. I saw a lot of reviews online that were like, you gotta use it. You gotta wear it in. You gotta use it so that it can, you know, it'll settle. Everything will settle, and you gotta find the sweet spot for everything. I may have just found the sweet spot for the lock on mine. So if I hit the brake on this stop sign, she's done. I could probably tighten up those throttle cables a little more too, but I ain't gonna worry about it right now. Hit the lock. You're in there. She ain't slowing down or nothing. It'll be perfect for just let my hand down for a second. Look at this, dude. This is pretty fucking cool. It's a weird feeling to not have my hand on that grip. It really is. Now, she might be slipping a little bit right now. I feel like we're slowing down very slightly. If I give her gas again, let's see what she does. I'm not fully endorsing this yet, and this isn't sponsored by any means either. But the thing works, it's doing its job. I just don't have it set up quite correctly right now. Okay, so I just tightened that front screw that was keeping it loose. And as you can see, it's keeping it how, I'll do it one more time for the camera. It's not great. Now I know that there's a learning curve to these things, but that right there might be the final nail in the coffin. Because here's why. If I keep that screw loose up front, it already came loose and it's gonna fall out. It will fall out, and then this whole system will droop down. And that's a problem. So, and I can't have that. So that might be the final nail in the coffin. But we're gonna ride home and see if the vibrations help settle things in naturally, and if that screw came loose or not, and how the locking system is now. And it might need another little adjustment out on the lock. I don't know. It shouldn't now because it's so goddamn tight. But we'll see. This might be it. And I might be going to the Atlas throttle lock because that thing seems a lot less convoluted than this right now. But, you know, nobody's sponsoring me, so I'm giving you guys the honest first-person review right now of this thing. All right, so let's hit the road and let's see what happens here. See, I didn't engage it, and it's staying locked. So that should not be happening. And I'm sure I've heard people love this thing, and it does people good. It's riding good right now. Lock it. It's staying. But if it might need time to open up. I hope this thing is good. I do. Let me see. No, see, it's hesitating to, if I lock it, hit the brake. I mean, it kinda. It's a very convoluted system in my opinion. It works good right now, but like, I don't know. It's doing its job really well right now. It is, I will say that. But it gets caught, and I don't fucking like that. Guys, I wanted to do a quick outro because I got home flustered and annoyed from that ride. And of course, my father comes out and he starts messing with everything. The main issue, this screw right here could not be tightened all the way without this binding up. So we mess with this screw a bit back here, leveling up. I just watched one of the BrakeAway official videos. I think it was the 05 model. Instead of this is the 07. 7PC, blah, 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 07. That was 05. And the guy was talking about pitching it up and down to correct that binding on the other model. So I figured I'd give it a try. Started to kind of work. And then the father comes out and just starts screwing with this screw and this one. And we got everything all tightened up. And I'll give you the logo. She's good. Locks. The brake happens, she comes up, there's a little bit of slop in there, but yeah, that was all the way up. So basically, I'm gonna run this thing for a little bit. It's gonna break in, there's gonna be vibrations, it's gonna break in. I'm sure more screws will come loose and whatnot. But as of now, I'm happy with it. I'm not gonna jump the gun and buy another one. And I'm gonna finally get this video out because I've been talking about cruise control, throttle lock for a long time. But basically, I can't say if I suggest this product or not a lot. One thing I will say is online they say you got to mess with this thing a lot, and it takes a good few rides to get it right where it needs to be lock-wise and everything function-wise. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt now that everything's working and tightened up. And my frustration is gone because it works. So let's not jump to conclusions. I'm going to let it live on the bike for a little bit, use it, let it break in. And in a couple weeks, I'll probably make a follow-up video about how I feel about it. And if you follow along the channel, you'll probably see me talk about it along the way. But yeah, this is the BrakeAway Cruise Control throttle lock. And it's pretty cool, I guess. The function-wise, it's cool, as long as it's working well and doesn't annoy the hell out of you. If you have a lot of patience, I think this could be a solid and safe throttle lock setup for you. I have no patience, but luckily I have a father who knows what the hell to do with annoying mechanical things. So, all right guys, like, comment, share, subscribe, the whole 9 yards, and I'll see you on the next one.